Financial news very much dominating the news today, in particular, the NatWest Coutts group, with Alison Rose and the woke agenda, and the fact that I don't align with their views and I don't fit in with their diversity and inclusion agenda. Thoughts on that?
Is it not desirable to have some of those female traits you're talking about? I'd say that's a generalisation, but you've used the words female traits. Is it not desirable to have some of them at the top of business? I mean, maybe there wouldn't have been a banking crisis.
They don't predict success in the workplace. The things that predict success in the workplace are intelligence and conscientiousness. Agreeableness negatively predicts success in the workplace.
The climate emergency is here. As a bank, we must act now, or the things we love won't be the same tomorrow.
That powerful film showed all too clearly that climate change is one of the defining challenges of our lifetime, and it is a global challenge that is becoming more urgent every day. Wildfires in California, melting glaciers in Iceland, and drastic declines in wildlife species have all been in the headlines recently.
What it's doing is exposing that even in really august, that are meant to be hard-nosed, grown-up institutions like Coutts, like NatWest, which has 19 million customers.
Yeah.
It seems the priority, and Alison Rose said when she came in, a central pillar of my leadership is going to be the climate agenda.
Finance is a key enabler in tackling climate change. And as the UK's leading bank for business customers and one of the largest for retail customers, NatWest Group has a significant role to play. We're also the leading lender to the UK renewable sector and are financing projects such as Dogger Bank, the world's largest offshore wind farm.
You're a bank. It's your legal obligation to try and make money for your shareholders.
Which are us, the government.
Yeah.
38.6%
It's completely
is us.
mad. And suddenly the whole lid has been blown on this. Even people have been denying that this woke agenda, they've been saying it's an invention of people like you.
Yeah.
Well, clearly it isn't.
I think for me, diversity and inclusion is creating the right culture. If I think about my own team, they all have diversity and inclusion targets that sit alongside their P&L. For me, we have a purpose-led strategy, which is fundamental about the role we play, but in that diversity and inclusion is really serious, and we're very transparent about it.
Okay.
Well,
but
female
you
traits,
asked me
though,
a question.
why are they not...
Feminine traits.
Why are they not desirable at the top of... Feminine traits, why are they not desirable at the top of business?
It's hard to say. I'm just laying out the empirical evidence. Like we know the traits that predict success.
But we also know, because companies by and large have not been dominated by women over the centuries, we have nothing to compare it to. It's an experiment.
True, and it could be the case that if companies modified their behavior and became more feminine, that they would be successful. But there's no evidence for it. I'm neither doubtful nor non-doubtful. There's no evidence for it.
So why not give it a go, as the radical
feminists would say? Because the evidence suggests, well, it's fine. If someone wants to start a company and make it more feminine and compassionate, let's say, and caring in its overall orientation towards its workers and towards the marketplace, then that's a perfectly reasonable experiment to run.
Good evening. Well, last night I told you that I'd received the subject access data I'd requested from Coutts Bank, the bank who cancelled my account. Now, bear in mind, this is important. This is not just about Coutts, and it's not just about me, because NatWest is part of the same banking group, and they have 19 million customers.
I think the Coutts PR team know less about the media than my two pet dogs, I'm afraid. They've managed to make you into something of a national treasure, which is yeah. As you said, the range of politicians and interests and people who have come to support you, even though some of them detest you. You've got senior Tory party politicians. You spent your whole adult life winding up the Tory party, and they're coming to your defence. And rightly so, on a matter of principle. This could be a turning point. And I'd really like to see the Labour front bench step up here. You have got, I would say now, 80 to 85% of the population, even though lots of them don't like you, as you was shown in those vox pops, agreeing with you and saying his position is reasonable, and you've managed to make a fool out of the BBC and my old alma mater paper, the FT.
My point is that there is no evidence that those traits predict success in the workplace.